Blessings in abundance, blessings in abundance, blessings in abundance. How you doing on today? You know exactly who this is. Jason Miller, Roller Willing. Check that spelling. Listen, man, I'm live and direct. I'm at the Crizo, and I'm not going to be in this position for too long, or this situation, or this location. But I'm hit you up with what's happening in the new, recent, and global situations that's right now. It's knocking at your front door, and you really not paying attention. Now, the last time I came to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I explained to you, I shared you, I spoke to you specifically about what's going on. There's a new viral outbreak happening right now, and this new viral outbreak is serious. It's going to affect children. The first wave of the pandemic, where we were not aware, when we still had availability to access food and stuff, that one affected African American ethnicity, and that affected senior citizens. Now, with all the people that we have lost, we all saw healthy people go in the hospital and didn't come home. We saw regular people go to the hospitals and didn't come home. Now it's a situation where our children, our healthy children, healthy babies are going in the hospital and not coming home. Why? What's happening? You don't take my word for it. I'm got to be the person that tell you, because every time I talk, everybody thinks I'm lying or making some shit up. I told you I cannot make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. Whether it's Putin's price hike, when American oil company is the #1 oil company in the world, whether the fact that we've been spending now $1,600 a second since the pandemic started on vaccines, a healthcare company, or the fact that we now spending billions of dollars on, we spend more money, America spend more money funding this war than some other countries spend on their whole military. Yes, America spent more money on funding this war in 1 year than certain countries do to defend their entire countries. And that's one country, America, in addition to all the other countries. But I'm not talking about the military-industrial complex, because that would be crazy. Why would that be crazy? Because it's not like the senators or the governors or the politicians are buying up stocks in fucking weapons companies, right? That'd be crazy. That'd be unethical for the freaking politicians to be buying up stocks and bonds and buying up shares in a weapons company, right before war starts. Is that bad politics, or is that good business? I'm not saying that, yo. I'm just saying I can't make this shit up. And when I get at y'all with this too, you gonna think I'm making this shit up. But I told you guys, I said it to you last time. If you guys can find any kind of pediatric treatments, any kind of stuff for babies to protect the babies against cold, flus, that's where they're attacking this season. Right now, hospital beds in America are overbooked. They're running out of pediatric hospital beds in America quietly, but they're not saying it. They're trying to make you believe that it's okay to go back outside with their children and travel all over the world this holiday season. But I'm letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, don't believe me. Let's see what the world has to say about it.
Your child probably has a cough. He or she is probably sniffling, battling high fever. Sleepless nights for you have now become the norm.
Let's see what the broken phone has to say around the globe.
Others are calling it RSV, and some are blaming the Wuhan virus. Kids as young as 1 are now being nebulized. You're afraid to send them to schools, to parks, to their playgroups. Your pediatrician is telling you to ride it out and not panic. But it's agony to watch your child suffer like this. And your fears are justified. The Wuhan virus is back. A new variant is sparking more fears. Children are falling sick across the world. Why? Is there a pandemic among children? What don't we know right now? What should you do as a parent? These are all questions you need to ask. And tonight on Gravitas, I'll attempt to answer most of them. We'll also tell you how India is ramping up its COVID preparedness, while China, the culprit behind the Wuhan virus, is making the same mistakes again.
Now pay attention to the headlines, because the headlines behind this entire thing is the most important factors, okay? The headlines is what's important. I say the headlines is what's important because the headlines are the stories. Now, what she's talking about is really what's happening around the world today and how it's being played out. How is it being played out? How is that process affecting us at home? Now, I'm not going to be here all day. I'm not going to be spending all day the whole time talking to you about all of this other stuff. All I'm going to do is take the time to talk about one specific thing. You at home and your baby. How is this whole process affecting you at home and your baby? Let's take a look at this, all right? Let's take a look at what's happening at home. So while you're going Christmas shopping, while you're not paying attention to anything,
is your child
this is what's happening
from the Wuhan virus? Should the surge in infections worry you? Is the new wave going to affect children? I know. For some, it may be too early to ask these questions, but the fear has entered the hearts of most parents. Why? Developments like these provide the answer. This report is from Japan. It says the Omicron variant is claiming lives of healthy children. Yes, almost half of children who died this year in Japan did not have any underlying diseases or conditions. And now look at this report. It was carried by CNN. It says children's hospitals are already full of sick kids in the United States. They're now bracing for a potential increase in hospitalizations. It is not only because of a spurt in infections from holiday gatherings. The report further says that for the last few months, in fact, few months, not just the last few days, pediatric hospital beds have been consistently 3/4 full. In fact, the chief medical officer of a children's hospital in the state of Colorado has issued this warning. Allow me to quote. While we certainly hope that families and friends have an opportunity to gather and spend time together this holiday season, this is also a time where we often see spikes in viral infections. There is still plenty of RSV, COVID, and influenza circulating, and we encourage everyone to take precautions to keep themselves, their children, and others healthy.
Now, I'm going to stop right there for a second, okay? Because I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to come here to tell you about all the things that's going on in the world. That's not what it is today. This is a Christmas season. It's funny. My mom just called me today and asked me to play a song called our Christmas Polkas, a song that, my family normally plays growing up. You get your Christmas traditions at home. You make your cakes. Jamaicans, we make the rum cake. Boop, 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 boop. Shit, I told the Jamaicans out there. Okay, so, you make your rum cake, you make your sorrel, drink your juice and everything else. Other people have their, cookies, gingerbread houses, decorations, the powdered sugar and everything. But what about the babies? We all love the babies, don't we? Sizzler is trying to protect the babies, but he's trying to protect the babies against DJ Khaled. This has nothing to do with DJ Khaled or Sizzler. So when I say I care about the babies, I'm not taking a shot at DJ Khaled. When I say we love the babies, I'm not saying that I'm taking a shot at anybody or saying I'm supporting this versus that. One spliff a day does keep the evil away. But was it evil how the whole process went about rolling that spliff to begin with? The mindset? That's kind of what that conversation is about. But what am I talking about? Is it evil, the mindset behind the government to be able to populate the people, to be able to pollute the people, and then lock us down and then do this to us? I'm just saying, I'm just talking about the mindset behind the evils that do it, because guess what? It's happening. We're living in it. I said it in the last video. Protect your children. I've been talking to you about the global pandemic. I've been talking to you about the food shortages. Now, I'm not going to talk about the different stuff that I'm learning that my girl Mello just came in town, and me and her been chopping up. She just got her license, by the way. So I've been telling y'all to get y'all license for insurance. Because again, if you think healthy people going to the hospital and coming home dead, oh yeah, they don't come home because they dead. That's the point. It's a pandemic. They go in for a goddamn cut in their finger and come home with COVID and they die in the hospital for COVID. Don't take my word for it. We all know it happens. It happens. These are those times. You see it in the news. There's another variant killing people all over Japan. Killing babies all over Japan. 50% of the healthy babies, 50%, 50%, half of all the healthy babies in Japan who got sick with this virus died. Half of them. Half of the healthy babies. Not the babies who had something. Not the babies who's going through something. Not the babies who's already given somebody mama because of pre-existing conditions. I'm talking about healthy babies in Japan died. Now, what you said, well, we're better than Japan. Is that it? Do you really believe that? Are we that much better than Africa? Are we that much better than Japan? Are we that much better than Ukraine? Are we that blind? Are we that blind to think that lining up in lines in Walmarts is what's going to save us? Are we that blind to not pay attention to what's happening across the world right now with the global food shortage? Are we that blind to pay attention to the fact that the person who was one of the people behind engineering the biomed Purebright Group is now the largest farm owner of farmland in America that engineers biochemical and bioengineered weaponry and food? I'm not going to call any names because they're funded other researchers from my organization to do healthy products. So I thank you for the research funding your corporations have given me. You know who you are. And I hope the people who understand who I'm talking about don't snitch on me and it causes this algorithm to blackball me so that this content don't get out. So if you're a snitch, just know that stitches get stitches no matter where. It's all a matter of time. Beyond that, if you're paying attention and you are awake, protect yourself and your children and your lives. If you go into pharmacies right now, I guarantee you can't find no kids antibiotics. You can't find no pediatric medicines nowhere right now. Why? Because it's all sold out. Even in Canada, it's been sold out in Canada for months. So we here in our little American bubble, we're not paying attention to nothing because we watching TV. Yeah, and that's what's gonna get us. Okay, that's where they're gonna put the alert. You just gotta be locked down, and you don't know what to happen, but you just gotta be locked down where you are, can't move. That's the type of shit they're gonna try to bring on us. So again, I'm trying to help us all to be aware so we can be waking up. This isn't like before. Times are changing. Again, protect yourself and your loved ones. Facts. If you're at home right now and you have a child that's sick, you don't have any access to medicine, guess what? Old school home remedy. Don't take my word for it that it works. You could Google all of these things and see if they work together or not and see if it works. Y'all go and Google shit anyway, right? Okay, so garlic, honey, and a little bit of lemon. Let that thing ferment and then use that to protect yourselves right now, okay? Use that. You might not have access to antibiotics. You might not have access to anything else. But if all you got access to in your house is some garlic, some honey, and some goddamn lemons, protect yourself. Don't believe that you need to go line up in these lines so that mom and dad not to get infected along the way trying to do this. It's already too late. It's already happening. I'll repeat, it is already too late to go think you're going to stock up on medicine now. It's already too late to think that when your baby gets sick, you're going to take your baby to the doctor and the doctor going to give your baby a prescription that you're going to be able to fill. Because ain't no baby prescriptions available nowhere right now. Them shits is expensive than a motherfucker. Them baby prescriptions is like gas prices there a couple months back. Them shits is sky high. Don't take my word for it. You could Google that shit yourself. But just like you're Googling the home remedies, the next thing you need to Google, LIRP, protect yourself and your family. Life insurance retirement plan. I'm not here to sell you insurance, just like I'm not selling you honey, garlic, and lemon. I'm giving you advice. You could choose to use it or not. The information is free. The game is to be sold, not to be told. So if I add a subscribe here button with a $10.99, maybe that you pay me some attention and pay some time. But guess what? Until then, I want you to understand your life is at stake and it's not mine. I know what to do to protect myself. I'm taking the precautionary measures. I've given out the informational research for free. I'm sharing this content with you right now absolutely for free. As a matter of fact, I'm sharing this content with you at risk and detriment of my own business, brand, label, and corporation. Why? Because I understand the powers that be and how those people move, especially when you're dealing with the nature of computer algorithm softwares that control how information is disseminated and broadcasted. So yeah, I'd say this at the risk of my own business being blackballed. But again, I'm letting you know, the time is now. Don't wait until somebody dies going in the hospital next year for you to say, oh, well, they were just healthy, so we ain't getting no life insurance policy, and now they're dead. Or because they're young, we didn't choose to protect them with a life insurance policy, and then they just got sick, and before you know it, they're gone. Don't be that person. The government don't care right now. Don't be that person. Money don't care. Because it's either Black Lives Matters because we protect our lives by insuring it. It's either Black Lives Matters because we're going to use those remedies to make sure that we protect ourselves with natural organic treatments to make sure that we have healthier, longer, more vibrant lives. Or we're going to keep on infecting ourselves, infecting our bodies, and polluting our brains and our minds. What are you going to do with your life for the rest of your time? What are you going to do with the rest of your day from this point in time? What are you going to do with the rest of your year after learning this information? But guess what? I'm not saying it, y'all. I'm just saying that's my time. You know who it is, Jay Smiller, Roller Welling. Check that spelling. I'm out of here, and it's a beautiful day here in sunny South Florida. Today's episode is brought to you by my brand, God's Gift. Today's episode is brought to you by Integrity Wealth Group here in the top right. Go ahead and check the link down here. You might find some information on how to save yourself and protect your family. If you know anybody who want to protect yourself, protect your family, or just interested in learning how you could protect yourself and your family, listen, you don't need to be highly educated to protect yourself with life insurance. You don't need to be the smartest person in the world to get the benefits of life insurance. All you need to do is just to make your payment on time. So if you can make your phone bill payment on time to keep your phone on so you can scroll on Instagram and see exactly everybody's going on, you could buy an $80 to $100 policy to make sure that your family is covered and ain't nobody protected. Nobody got to worry about nothing. You could do that to make sure your children and yourself, because guess what? You're going to spend $200 a month on foolishness. You're going to spend $200. Shit, most of y'all spend $200 every weekend buying nails, hair, and bullshit. So you can't tell me you can't spend $200 to make sure that your family is not one of those people that's putting up a GoFundMe in 2023. You can't tell me you cannot afford for your family not to be those persons now standing outside trying to do a food drive or sell or do a cake drive or sell cookies to try to bury Uncle or bury Tom or bury Sister Mary or bury little Sarah. She was so young, she was so innocent. Why did the Lord have to take her? Is it why did the Lord have to take her? Or why did you not protect yourself? That's my time, y'all. Game recognized game. Real recognized real. R. I'm out of here, y'all. God bless. God's best, and as always, Godspeed.
Have you heard the phrase, be your own bank? More and more people are starting to become aware of the power of building your family bank through life insurance. And right now my agency is looking to train a few more individuals on how to help families with index universal life insurance policies.